Ron Harris here live from Muscular.com. Coverage of Texas Pro brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. Standing here with a guy from Texas who made a huge leap in his career last weekend in Tampa. 4th place, impressed the hell out of a lot of us. Joe Mackey. First of all, Joe, congratulations. That was a phenomenal showing last week. I didn't know you had it in you.
Yeah, and I like to say I know that if we came to the stage big, full, and hard, and of course, you hear the hearsay from, some of the top guys. Obviously, I've talked to Branch, Johnny, Jackson out here, some of the Texas legends out here, of course, and, get some of the same feedback in regards like, man, Joe, if you just hit that mark, man, I know we have the tools, and I know I have the tools as far as like, the aesthetic and the look and stuff like that. And then the main thing was just dialing things in. And I kept, how many pro shows have I done? I'm just going to say, let's say 4. And
That's not that many.
yeah, but, each one of those shows, I would say actually my best pro show was my pro debut at the Ferrigno Legacy.
Oh, wow.
And, I came in, pretty dry, pretty good shape as far as that goes. The dries I pretty much had been prior to this Tampa show. And I placed 9th at that show. And it was top 10. It was a good show. Brandon Curry and said, rest in peace, was competed there. And I think Brandon went on to win that show. But, after I did that show, it kind of got a little bit of attention. And people kind of saw me as like, oh, man, Joe Mackey's going to bring it. But then next pro show after that, didn't bring it. So, now did the Tampa last week, and I'm excited for this Texas show because, what I displayed last week at the Tampa was, for one, it's a different feeling too when you're there, and even from a confidence perspective, as far as that goes, and I could just remember prior to getting on stage at Tampa, just not being that nervous because, knowing that it was. I was happy with the package overall. And I'm even more excited for this Texas show, too, because, we're even better, drier, fuller. And actually, we're going to attempt to be fuller, of course. And, we will be drier as well, too. And I'm really looking forward to Saturday for sure.
What did you weigh on stage in Tampa? Do you have any idea?
When I left the hotel room Saturday morning, I was around 263.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And 6'4".
No, it's like without these shoes, and I've actually weighed. I've actually did my my height, but I'm actually 5'11". I don't even break the 6 foot mark.
Okay.
But of course 5'11" still kind of known as a tall bodybuilder. But yeah, I'm actually 5'11", and weight for this show, we'll see. I'm still actually gauging around. It's kind of the same weight I was it's Thursday, so 2 days out, and we'll see. I'm going to go home and eat, of course, fill out a little bit more, and tomorrow we're going to be drawing out a little bit more as well too, so might be around the same weight, but I also feel like it's going to be a different look, just in regards to how my body's responding so good already right now.
Talk about a different look. You have the type of muscle density that you don't get from light weights and pumping and machines.
Yeah.
Just one of the things I saw you do on Instagram a couple months back, 900-pound deadlift, am I right?
Yeah, 900-pound deadlift. I've always came from a background of just loving to lift heavy weights ever since I was in college. And, that's always just been my style. It's just to lift. And obviously, watching top guys in the industry, Ronnie, and, I was talking to Chris Cormier last week at the show, watching those guys that just put up some weight. And I always wanted to be those guys that didn't look strong, but was strong as well, too. And I like being a guy in the gym that, was one, or if not the strongest guy in the gym. And it still, stays with me to this day, because when I live, I train heavy. And I train not just heavy, but train with, high volume as far as that goes. And, the last 6 weeks prior to Tampa, kind of switched things up a little bit, kind of start backing off the heavy weight and start doing some more specific style training. And it made a difference as well, too, just with, just opening up and activating some new muscle groups, I guess you could say. And I feel like that made a big difference as well, too. But, I definitely have been a huge believer to build that dense muscle comes from heavy, high-intensity training, absolutely. Yeah.
The last thing I want to talk to you about, Was that your first prep with Milos Sarshev, the Tampa Pro? So yeah, I mean, how did you hook up with Milos? He's a busy guy and he doesn't take on just anybody.
Yep.
How did you guys get together as a client, as a coach client?
Milos was kind of, certain posts I would put out. Milos would comment here and stuff like that. And then I remember one of the posts I put out, I want to say it's that last spread I put out weeks prior to the show. I was with the prior coach. I was with the coach prior to that. Yeah. And went ahead and decided to make a change of direction. I was roughly about 4 weeks out at that point. And, Milos really came to my attention at that time. And I actually reached out to Milos the next day. Had a great conversation with him. Me and Milos just hit it off. We probably had about an hour conversation on the phone. And very attentive, real, just knowledgeable guy as far as just knows his stuff in and out in regards to, it's just amazing just from talking to him, just the stuff that I picked up in regards to like, oh, wow, like, doing this. And it's not saying it's right or wrong, it's just some things that we change based off of, what I told him I was doing. And no, we're not, we're going to do this. And I was just, and you know what? And we got to it the next day. And actually, I flew out to him to Vegas. Oh, wow. Yeah, a day later. And I went out there because I've always been I always know that pictures, you see me online, Instagram, stuff like that. Like, oh, man, he's a big guy, but I don't feel like pictures do me justice. Yeah. And I remember Milos having a conversation about it over the phone, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to fly out there, because I want you to see me. And I flew out there next day and posed with him, trained with him. And he said the same thing. He was just like, yeah, like seeing me in person, of course, just a complete different look compared to seeing the pictures. And because it was funny, too, because I would even send them pictures, and I would look at the pictures, and I'm like, man, like, that's not doing me any justice. So that was even a more encouraging reason to want to go out there. And when I went out there, we had a great conversation, talked about the plan. And originally, I was only going to do the Texas, but after he saw me, he was like, no, you need to do it Tampa. And I was like, all right, let's do it. Put 100% faith in him, and we changed some things up, and it's been great. And Milos, I would say, from the look I had at Tampa, it's the first time to where I've ever brought condition and also fullness. Never been full on stage. And, because obviously, I think a lot of us play with that whole, do we push it more when it comes to being fuller, or, we're lean and we're dry, and, but we ate a lot, and everyone's different, and I can put some food down. And and I remember Milos saying that and everything. He kind of made a comparison to me, and when he did some things with Dennis Wolf and stuff like that, he's like, man, you remind me of Dennis, because Dennis could put down some food. And he was like, because I remember some meals were like, all right, do 200 grams of carbs, and I would do 200 grams of carbs, and and I would kind of, he always told me to like fill it out, and just see how you feel and stuff like that. And I remember that day, the next day, I was like, well, for meal 3, you told me to do 200 grams of carbs, but I actually did like 400. And he was like, no, that's fine. He's like, you gauge it and everything. And that's what we've been doing, because we have a plan, but it could change, based off the look, of course, and based off feeling as well, too. We work very well with that.
Well, Tampa was a great showing for you. I feel like you leveled up. Now you're in your backyard. Oh, yeah. Texas is where, you're not going to, this is your house. Yeah. So yeah, I look forward to seeing. If you're better than last week, I can't wait to see what you have in store for us. It's going to be something special.
Absolutely. And I would 100% say we are 100% better than last week, just from today, from 2 days out, where we were from Tampa, and 2 days out from Texas. It's going to be another look for sure. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, check Joe Mackey out on that stage Saturday. BattleUpProductions.com for the pay-per-view, MuscularDevelopment.com. We're doing our coverage, play-by-play and photos, but can't wait to see Joe Mackey again. He is a name you're gonna all have to remember if you don't know it yet, Joe Mackey.
Absolutely.
So best of luck to you, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
MuscularDevelopment.com. Thanks for watching.
Cool, man.